Zoology. Explain the life cycle of Ascaris umbri cords. Life cycle. The male and the female worms come into sexual union, after which the female worm lays about 2 lakhs eggs per day. The eggs are passed out along with the feces. The eggs which are freshly passed out are not ineffective to man. After a period of 16 to 20 days, a small larva develops inside the egg. The egg is now called embryonated egg. Only the embryonated eggs are ineffective to man. The egg is broadly oval in shape with a thick shell. The shell is surrounded by another colorless albuminous layer. The eggs are highly resistant and are not affected by desiccation, freezing, or by the useful strength of disinfectants. However, the eggs are killed in direct sunlight. The eggs of Ascaris can live for 5 to 6 years. The eggs are found in water, food, on exposed sweets, fruits, etc. Since eggs are carried away by wind, so they can easily settle down on sticky surfaces such as sweets, watermelons, cut fruits, etc. Man gets infected by swallowing the embryonated eggs along with the contaminated water and food. The infection is generally through ingestion. On reaching the small intestine, the egg hatches and a tiny larva measuring about 200 mm to 300 mm escapes out. This larva sheds its outer skin immediately. It is the first mold. Now it is called rhabditiform larva. The larva then penetrates the wall of the small intestine and reaches the blood stream. The larva is then carried to the right auricle and right ventricle and reaches the lungs ultimately. On the 5th day, the larva sheds the outer skin, which is the second molt. On the 10th day, another molt takes place, the third molt. Second and third molts take place in the lungs. Now the larva is about 1 to 3 mm in length. The larva then goes through bronchial, the bronchus, and reaches the trachea. Later, the larva is coughed out into the pharynx, and from there it goes down the oesophagus and reaches the small intestine. On the 25th day, the larva sheds its outer skin, which is the 4th molt. After a period of 2 to 2.5 months of infection, the adult stage is reached. The development outside the human body is termed as exogenous phase. Genetic engineering, recombinant DNA technology. All living organisms are endowed with specific genetic information. With advancement that progress in genetical science, many aspects of gene functions became obvious. The molecular functioning of genes revealed the central dogma that DNA in a eukaryotic cell undergoes transcription to synthesize RNA, and the latter undergoes translation to produce protein, polypeptide. Even before the modern aspects of molecular genetics are discovered, The existence of mobile genetics elements, transpons, transposons, were visualized by the geneticist Barbara McClintock in her work on maize plant Z. maize in 1965. Genetic engineering deals with the manipulation of genes according to human will. A gene of known functions can be transferred from its normal location into an entirely different cell or organism via a suitable carrier or vector. The carrier may be plasmid DNA segment of bacterium or a virus. The gene transferred likewise starts functioning to synthesize the particular protein in the new environment. Thus, the fact that a gene can function irrespective of its environment formed the basis for genetic engineering. Tools of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering, which involves isolation of a gene segment from the whole genome, cloning of the gene into multiple copies, and their expression needs several biological tools. Some of them are given below. 1. Enzymes. Exonucleases, endonucleases, restriction endonucleases, Si enzymes to convert the cohesive ends of single stranded DNA fragments into blunt ends, eDNA ligases, alkaline phosphatase, reverse transcriptase, DNA polymerase, etc. Foreign DNA or passenger DNA. It is a fragment of DNA molecule which is to be enzymatically isolated and cloned. Cloning vectors. Vectors are vehicles DNA are those DNA that can carry a foreign DNA fragment when inserted into it. The vectors generally used are bacterial plasmids and bacteriophages. Global warming, greenhouse effect. Global warming refers to an average increase in the Earth's temperature, which in turn causes changes in climate. During the past 4.65 billion years of its history, Earth has warmed many times, but at present it is facing a rapid warming mainly due to human activities. The average temperature of Earth is about 590 Fahrenheit, 150 centigrade. During the last century, this average has risen by about 10 Fahrenheit. By the year 2100, it is believed that the rise would be between 2.5 and 10.40 Fahrenheit. This will cause dramatic changes such as rise in sea level, changes in rainfall patterns, wide range of impacts on plants, wildlife, and humans. Greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect. The trapping of energy from the sun by certain gases in the atmosphere leading to the rise in the Earth's temperature is known as greenhouse effect. Hence, these gases are known as greenhouse gases. Some gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane act as the trap. These gases absorb and reflect infrared waves radiated by Earth. By doing so, these gases conserve heat as the glass in greenhouse does. Normally, all life on Earth depends on this greenhouse effect. If it does not exist, Earth would be cooled and ice would cover Earth from pole to pole. But if the greenhouse effect becomes strong, it could make the Earth warmer than usual. Even a little extra warming may cause problems for humans, plants, and animals. Types of greenhouse gases. In the environment, greenhouse gases occur naturally or from human activities. The most abundant greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. It reaches the atmosphere due to volcanic eruptions, respiration of animals, burning and decay of organic matter such as plants. Normally, carbon dioxide is removed by the plants by photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is also absorbed into ocean water. But humans, by their activities, increase the release of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Such activities include burning of fossil fuels, solid waste, wood and wood products to drive vehicles, generate electricity, etc. At the same time, due to deforestation, the number of trees available to absorb carbon dioxide through photosynthesis has been greatly reduced. Human activities have caused carbon dioxide to be released to the atmosphere at rates much faster than that at which Earth's natural processes can recycle this gas. There were about 281 molecules of carbon dioxide per million molecules of air, that is parts per million or ppm in 1750. Today, atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations are 368 ppm, a 31% increase. Methane traps 20 times more heat than carbon dioxide. It is emitted during the production and the transport of coal, natural gas, and oil. It is also emitted from rotting organic waste in sandfills by the cows as a byproduct of digestion. Since 1750, the amount of methane in the atmosphere has more than doubled. Nitrous oxide traps 300 times more heat than carbon dioxide. Burning fossil fuels and ploughing farm soils release nitrous oxide. Since 1750, its level increased by 17%. Hydrocarbons formed from the manufacture of foams, coolants such as chlorofluorocarbons used in refrigerators are the other gases responsible for global warming. In 2000, scientists discovered an alarming increase in the level of a new gas called trifluoromethyl sulfur pentafluoride. Even though gas is rare, it traps more effectively than all other greenhouse gases. The saddest part of it is that the industrial source of the gas is not yet identified. Effects of global warming. Due to the warming of oceans, sea level will rise. Glacier ice will also melt, causing further rise in sea level. As a result, in the 21st century, sea level will rise from 9 to 88 cm. Such a rise will submerge many parts of countries. Seasons will be longer in some areas. The warmed world will be generally more humid, and greater humidity will increase the rainfall. Storms are expected to be more frequent and intense. Some regions of the world would become dry. Wind blows will be harder and in different patterns. Hurricane would be more severe. Weather patterns would be less predictable and more extreme. Crops and forests may be affected by more insects and plant diseases. Animals and plants will find it difficult to adjust to the changed environment. Animals will tend to migrate towards poles and toward higher elevations. Some types of forests may disappear. More people will get sick or die from heat stress. Tropical diseases such as malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, and encephalitis will spread to other parts of the world. Effects to control global warming. Two major ways are there to control global warming. To keep the carbon dioxide out of the heat atmosphere by storing the gas or its carbon components somewhere else, a strategy called carbon sequestration. To introduce the production of greenhouse gases. Carbon sequestration. The simple technique is to preserve trees and plants more. Trees take up carbon dioxide, break it down in photosynthesis and store carbon in new wood. It needs massive reforestation. Carbon dioxide can also be sequestrated directly into deep ocean water or into oil wells or some aquifer farm which it cannot escape. Usage of alternate fuels such as nuclear energy, solar power, wind power and hydrogen fuel cells which emit no greenhouse gases are being considered.